What's good in the YouTube? This is Crazy Samurai71 here bringing you guys another video. Today I'm bringing you guys a video on Power Rangers, and today will be on two things. These two things I've been meaning to do for about a week now or so. Might be 2 weeks, I actually don't remember. But a couple announcements were made. Some of these were like rumored, but pretty much everything has been confirmed now. So the main things that I wanted to talk about were something regarding Beast Morphers and something regarding the Power Rangers toy line, the new Lightning Collection line that's been going on. So let me start off with Beast Morphers. So for those who do not know, Beast Morphers fairly recently got confirmation that they're going to be doing a special with Austin St. John, who played Jason the Red Ranger from MMPR, and also 4 of the Dino Charge Rangers will be returning as well, and Poisandra will be returning. Those are the main characters we know of so far. We don't know anything about who will be returning otherwise. We haven't seen any official images outside. We've seen some images of them on set, but we haven't seen like images of major villains aside from Poisandra. It's assumed that we would likely see Snide, but we're not 100% sure. And the reason why Snide is because of the Japanese movie that this special looks to be based on. However, things also seem to be very different from that special. So we'll have to wait and see for sure what they're planning on doing with that. However, that's not really what my topic was, but I wanted to make people aware in case you were not. The thing that I actually wanted to talk about was they recently announced that apparently they'll be doing some sort of crossover or something with RPM. Now, as far as what that really means, it's unclear. The most that we know so far is that apparently the actress that played Dr. K will be returning. We do not know whether or not that means any of the RPM Rangers themselves will be returning, and many of them are very unlikely that they will because of the fact that they are extremely high in demand, and some of them do major shows on a regular basis, so the chances of them being available is not very high, especially since many of them do not live in New Zealand, and so flying them out costs money, and it's not always the easiest thing to accomplish. Does that mean that we won't get any? No, but just keep it in mind that if we don't, there's a reason, because again, especially with Milo Cawthorn having a previous relationship with the actress that played Dr. K. And Milo Cawthorn, for those who do not know, played Ziggy, the green RPM Ranger. They were apparently, they were married up until 2016, the two actors. And the thing is that it's unclear as to whether or not their relationship now is like buddy-buddy, or if it's more like they have a bad relationship with each other outside of being divorced. We don't really know what their story is there. If they're okay working with each other, there's definitely a chance that Milo Cawthorn could show up. As far as the other actors go, it's really up in the air, especially with Eka Darville and Rose McIver. Those two especially are in extremely high demand right now, so it's really not so easy to tell, especially Rose McIver. The other actors are definitely up there, and I mean, Mike Jin would be a good candidate for someone that could return just because he's getting a lot of attention in the past year or so. So that would be a great example of an actor that would be great to see return. Do I think he will? I don't know yet, but I would love to have that happen. And then also Lin Ming Hu, the actress that played Gemma, would also be great to see. And she was awesome. I've met both of them at Power Morphicon last year, and they were some of the sweetest people ever to meet. Really nice people. So again, I don't know if they're going to return. I don't know if anyone else is going to return, but it is good to note. And this could lead to a number of different stories. Again, for those who do not know, when Beast Morphers was first announced and we got the first bit of information about the show, many people were connecting this show to RPM and thinking it was going to be a sequel. And the thing is that this kind of doesn't necessarily imply that it's a sequel, obviously, and the show hasn't proven that it has anything to do with RPM. However, what this does imply is that they are connecting the shows in some capacity, even if it's just a small feature from the actress that played Dr. K as Dr. K. Again, keep that in mind. So we'll have to wait and see for more information though, but as of now, that is something to look forward to, and it's something that we should be seeing in 2020, so stay tuned for that. And I also wanted to give you guys a quick update before I move on to the other topic that I wanted to discuss about any news regarding the licensing expo, because I did mention that in a prior video that I was hoping to post something about it, and the reason why I didn't was because there really was no coverage, and you may wonder why that was. The main reason why there was no licensing expo coverage this year is because typically Bandai was known for doing a major press coverage for the show around the time of licensing expo to announce what the next season is going to be, like what the name is. And and in this case, they really weren't going to show a whole lot. Like, they weren't going to do a huge presentation like they've done in the past. That's what Hasbro confirmed. And the thing is that because of that, it didn't make sense for anyone to really do a whole thing on it, and so people did go to it, but no one really reported anything regarding the new season name or anything like that. Now, as far as whether or not that means that the next season will change its name or won't change its name or something else will happen, we have no idea. The other thought process could be that they're trying to keep certain information under tabs intentionally, because the other thought process that people have been saying is they may end up changing the look of the team, doing something very similar to how they did it with Megaforce and Super Megaforce, where in this case it would be a new costume, but in this case people are thinking that it would likely, if they end up going that route, changing it to the outfits from Juoger, which I will probably post an image of right now just so that you guys can see what those costumes look like. And as far as whether or not I think that's possible, it's definitely a possibility. I'm not entirely sure if I'm convinced that that's going to happen, because also there are certain mechas that they're missing from the season so far that haven't been revealed. So if they were to do that, you would think that all the mechas for Beast Morphers, so all the Zords, would have already been revealed toy-wise, but that's not true. We actually are still missing a couple at least. So it's very likely that whatever they're doing is something that they're just trying to keep quiet for now until they can really reveal more information, and they may decide to reveal it at another time. Like, it could happen during San Diego Comic-Con, or it could happen as late as New York Comic-Con or some other point in time. But I just want to make sure that you guys are aware of that it's not as clear this time as Bandai was with announcing their names for their seasons or giving even like a reveal poster. None of that has been really done for 2020. So we really don't know what 2020 is going to look like at all. We don't know if it's just going to be a continuation. We don't know if the name's going to change or any of that. It's really up in the air. Now, as far as things go for what the other topic I want to discuss with the Lightning Collection. Lightning Collection, for those that may know, they released 4 figures back in, I believe it was May, and the 4 figures were MMPR White Ranger, SPD Shadow Ranger, Lord Zed, and Dino Charge Red. And those were great figures. I actually got all 4 of them. I bought them online on Hasbro Pulse, and I think that they're awesome. I currently have them all in box because I want to keep them in box, and I really just like the designs a lot. But the main reason why I'm talking about this is because they also announced a new figure that will be released at San Diego Comic-Con, which you can also buy after the convention on Hasbro Pulse. So you may be wondering, what's that figure? That figure is going to be a 2-pack, which will feature both MMPR Red and Zeo Gold, and this will be a Jason Scott 2-pack. So in other words, it won't have a Rocky head in it, but it will have 2 Jason heads, so one for gold, one for red, so you can display them. You can display him as both. This also comes with for red, he has the Dragon Shield armor on. It's unclear as to whether or not you can remove the armor. I would hope so, but nothing has been said officially. The other thing that we know of is that this 2-pack for the Red Ranger, he has the Power Blaster in blaster mode and not the Power Blaster. What am I saying? Well, the Power Blast. Sorry, there's the Power Blaster. He does have the Power Blaster, which is a huge thing that they have. But they also have another thing that I'm forgetting right now. And I don't know why I'm forgetting it, because it's something really simple and it's bothering me that I'm forgetting it. I'm just going to look really quickly because I don't want to have to do this again personally. It's really bothering me. Wow. I'm going to really be annoyed at myself because I can't remember this right now. That's so funny. What am I thinking of? Blade Blaster. Sorry, Blade Blaster. It comes with the Blade Blaster in the blade form and also in the blaster form, as well as has the power blaster, which is the combination of the weapons. The power cannon. That's what I mean to say. The power cannon, which combines the power sword, power daggers, power lance, power bow, and power axe into one giant weapon. However, you can actually separate them into their individual weapons and use them. So you could actually give the Rangers their individual weapons. Even though more likely than not, they will be releasing each of the other MMPR Rangers as well. So you'll probably get 2 copies of each weapon. It's unclear as to whether or not there'll be any differences with these weapons. Maybe the fact that this one can combine into a power cannon might be the difference, or it might be that, or it might not make any difference at all. They may make it so that it can still combine either way. Honestly, I'm not entirely sure. But it is interesting to note. As far as gold, what does he get? He gets his power staff, both where it's open and closed, and he also gets the lightning effect for his staff. So you can attach it to his staff. It's unclear whether or not the lightning effect works for the individual weapons, or even the the Blade Blaster. I would imagine it does, but the promotional images that they've shown so far have mainly focused on Zeal Gold using it and not on MMPR Red. Also, of course, it comes with the heads for Red and Gold, so that's important. So like the human heads are there. Now, as far as whether or not, now just keep in mind the price on this is going to be $50. Which is reasonable because you're getting 2 figures, you're getting weapons for them, you're getting the power blaster, which is going to come with all 5 of the basic MMPR weapons. You're going to get the power dagger, you're going to get the dragon dagger as well, I believe, because it's armored Red Ranger, so you are going to get the dragon dagger, and you can have the power sword, which is good, so you have both available to you. And you're getting Zeal Gold and all that. So again, really good. Also, the gold is gold. It's not caramel like it was during the Legacy collection. So that's a really good thing. And again, it's really high quality. So if you are not going to San Diego Comic-Con, if you want to buy it where it's not going to cost you an arm or something, and by that I mean it's not going to cost you like $100 or $200, I would recommend going on to Hasbro Pulse and buying it as soon as it's available on there, because otherwise you're going to have to buy it in the secondary market, and it's going to cost you easily $150. I guarantee it. So please keep that in mind. If you're wondering when that's going to be, I would say, I think it's supposed to be like July 22nd or something like that, or July 21st. You should be able to buy it. I believe, but just stay tuned for that. Otherwise, that's about it for me, guys. Not too much else has happened lately with Power Rangers. People are just waiting for the new season. They've shown off new images for merchandise, like they've shown off official images for the Gold Ranger, the Silver Ranger figures, some of the villain figures, and some of the weapons and other things. They finally released 2 additional toys, which were the Roxy figure and also the Jax figure, were both released. So that's good to note. As far as other things go, not too much else, but that's about it for catching up. If you read the comics, they're about to start Necessary Evil comic timeline, because they just finished Beyond the Grid. So Necessary Evil will start soon, and that will focus on the White Ranger and likely will lead to the introductions of Rocky, Adam, and Aisha, and also the new a new story point for the Go-Go Power Rangers should be starting fairly soon as well for those comics. So keep it all in mind. Otherwise, that's about it for me, guys. So please remember to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. So until then, guys, I'm Crazy Samurai 1, and goodbye.